Hello, everybody. My name is Adam Bergman, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Palantir. Palantir is one of those companies that you definitely don't want to miss out on in 2024, even if you missed out on it in 2023. Shit, the market right now is literally giving you a gift, with Palantir falling from a recent high of 2150 all the way down to just sub $16. Now you might ask yourself, well, Adam, if Palantir fell from 2150 to sub $16, isn't that a bad thing? And to this, I'm going to say, no, it's an opportunity for a company that is now much more fairly valued for what the company does. But there's a lot of massive news that's going to be coming out about Palantir very shortly. The United States just passed its budget for 866 billion with a B dollars of spending on defense in 2024. According to statistics, by 2033, the United States is going to be spending $1.1 trillion on defense. For you to understand, in 2023, spending was around $800 billion. And the year before that, in 2022, we're right around $730 billion. The United States by far spends more money on defense than all the next 10 countries combined. It's absolutely astronomical. But the real strength of Palantir is not just the United States, but also working with the United States allies. You see, Palantir does not work with United States oppositions. Palantir does not work with the ops, and they're absolutely 100% unapologetic with who they work with and who they don't work with. You got to focus on what's happening right now geopolitically around the world, specifically with the war between Russia and Ukraine, and more recently, the war between Israel and Hamas, and Israel and a bunch of absolute terrorist haters that want to take Israel out. And Palantir is at the forefront helping both those countries. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about Palantir's role in Ukraine, Palantir's role in Israel. We got some news that just came out from both of them, and where I believe Palantir is headed in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Because I think that Palantir's faith is intertwined with the fate of the United States. And as long as the United States still is a superpower and have high hopes with the next election year and the one after that, that United States becomes more of its former glory instead of a shell of what the United States used to be that we have today. And everybody who's a hardworking American understands exactly what I'm talking about when I say something like that. But besides for being on the forefront of defense and the astronomical amount of money that's currently and futurely going to be spent on national defense, you're also at the cusp of artificial intelligence. And by 2032, artificial intelligence spending is going to be at $2.6 trillion. It's absolutely massive. And Palantir is one of those opportunities, a once in a generation opportunity, literally current days Tesla, current days Nvidia, current days Microsoft, current days Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, so on and so forth. It is literally the opportunity for you to jump on a potential future $1 trillion market cap company, a multiple hundreds of dollars per share price in the future. And you got to ask yourself, am I overlooking Palantir? Am I really that much of a hating schmuck that I don't want to pay attention to literally what's in front of me? As long as the United States continues to prosper and grow, Palantir will continue to prosper and grow, because literally Palantir is one of the main reasons why the United States military can prosper and can grow. And it is literally at the forefront of this modernization through machine learning and artificial intelligence. And everything is literally being powered by Palantir. Now, I'm over exaggerating by saying literally everything, but a shit ton of it. And right now, what's happening in Ukraine and in Israel and other parts of the world, it's literally battle-tested technology that Palantir is offering to the United States at a future date, and all research and development is literally being paid for on the job training, if you get my drift. Let's deep dive. And before you go anywhere, at the end of this video, I am going to be talking a little bit about options, specifically explaining what selling an option is, and maybe do a little bit of technical analysis. I want to try something a little different on this channel and introduce something that's been making me really good money, and I want to bestow that knowledge on you, my lovely viewers. Before we get into it, if you take a moment, please hit the like, the share, subscribe, and hit a comment down below. I would really appreciate it, and it would help me with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Take a look at the screen really fast. This is a post from Shyam Sankar. Shyam Sankar is literally the number 2 in Palantir. He wrote, "Today's discussion was incredibly informative and helpful." The question is, what exactly is he talking about? He's talking about this post right here. Pete Modigliani writes, White House officials met with the executives from Palantir Technologies, Anduril Tech, Fordham Tech, Skydio headquarters, and other defense companies on Monday to discuss battlefield technologies that can aid Ukraine in its bid to combat Russia's invasion. National Security Council aides spent hours with more than a dozen companies in the defense tech and venture capitalist industry to talk about how the U.S. might be able to provide additional assistance to Kiev. Now, it's very, very interesting because as far as I understand, Palantir would be the software company. Anduril is kind of a hybrid between software and hardware. And I'm not sure about these companies, but the other 12 or so companies, but I'm pretty sure that they're offering some type of hardware services. And everything put together ties in with Palantir. And I'll explain a little bit more and intertwine this with Israel if you just give me a moment. The National Security Council staff was on point and engaged. The determination of the other participants was inspiring. By the way, I want to break your regularly scheduled program and just say where the actual F was Snowflake and C3 AI and Datadog, Databricks, so on and so forth. I'm not trying to shit on these companies, but you see this time and time again where Palantir is front line and center, and they are literally sitting next to Elon Musk, politicians, talking about artificial intelligence and defense in the UK summit, so on and so forth. Literally named number 1 artificial intelligence company in the world. Palantir for the win over and over again. And again, if you're too big of a schmuck with your hatred for Palantir to literally overlook it for a potential investment, not financial advice, purely entertainment and education, well, you don't deserve, as my man Ahmed says, any of those gains. This is interesting, and this is something that we've been talking about in the Palantir community for quite a while. Shyam says, Ukraine is the world's best battle lab. China understands that. It is only by pushing boundaries and fielding new and innovative prototypes that we can learn and iterate at the speed of war. Lend-Lease was a crucial precondition to winning World War II. Ukraine is our Lend-Lease moment. We have a narrow window to unite the defense tech ecosystem and bring new innovation to the Ukrainians at the speed and scale, positioning America well for a future fight we hopefully never face. Again, all the research and development of tomorrow is being currently done on the battlefields of Ukraine and on the battlefields of Gaza right now, which I'll get into in just a moment. Like it or not, hate it or not, I don't give a flying fizzle. I'm just letting you know it is what it is. And it seems like if you just read about this, right, it is only by pushing boundaries and fielding new and innovative prototypes that we can learn and iterate at the speed of war. It seems like Palantir almost wants to become a leader in this new generation of tech defense companies. And that's why they have Palantir Apollo, Palantir FedStart, so on and so forth. Impact level 5, impact level 6 clearance. And again, you must be deaf, blind, and dumb if you don't see and hear what exactly is in front of you. As our nation contends with the challenges in 3 theaters fueled by 4 countries, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, General Douglas MacArthur reminds us that history of failure in war can almost always be summed up in 2 words: too late. which is interesting because that's one of the things that Dr. Alex Karp talks about all the time. We have the lead right now, but China is right on our ass, working really, really hard to catch up and possibly surpass us. You see, they don't have any red tape. What the government says is what the government gets. Unlike what we have over here, we have tons of red cape. Yeah, red cake. Tons of red tape. You have people bitching, moaning, and crying, and you have a lot of citizens of the United States that forgot what it means to be an American. And it's absolutely sad on a personal note. But let's move forward. Earlier today, Palantir, US Palantir CEO, flies company board to Israel in show of solidarity. This is Dr. Alex Karp. He flew his entire board. He was actually with Peter Thiel on stage. Alex Karp says he believes in Israel's high-tech talent and is optimistic about the future acquisitions while decrying lack of US public support during war with Hamas terror group. Now, Palantir, and I'm so proud to say this, was supporting Israel from day one. They literally took out an entire, ad. They tweeted it, and their show of support is ridiculous. Not just morally, but they support them in this actual war. And if you ask me, I believe that Palantir was in Israel for quite a long time. Take a look at this really fast. This is Israel's Iron Dome. If you're familiar with Israel, if you're familiar with Israel's Iron Dome, basically there's a missile that's shot in the vicinity of the Iron Dome, and the Iron Dome, they end up shooting two missiles, one missile and then a second missile just in case. And the Iron Dome does not shoot down any missiles coming into Israel's territory if it's going to an unpopulated area or something like the sea. So if it's about to hit the beach and there's nobody on the beach, it won't shoot. If it's going into the water, it won't shoot. If it's hitting an empty parking lot, it won't shoot because it costs a lot of money. And there's only so many rockets that you have, missiles that you have, defensive missiles. But if you take a look at it, this is essentially how it works. You have a missile firing unit, you have a radar detection unit, and then you have a battle management and control unit. And usually there's double missile firing units as far as I understand. Tell me this does not 100% look like something that Palantir does, right? Instant data, and you need to, take a look at the trajectory, where everything's going to be landing, and how to, take it down. So I believe that Israel has been working with, that Palantir and Israel together have been working with each other for quite a while. Palantir has a really big office in Israel, actually. And if you go a little bit lower over here, this is Dr. Alex Karp over here. I don't want to focus on the political, but let's talk about possible future growth. And by the way, this article does a really, really good job talking about Palantir, the Denver-based data mining firm with a market value of $36 billion, has been active in Israel for the past decade and has an office in Tel Aviv run by many former Israeli government officials. Where do we see this all the time? Palantir has a federal advisory board in the United States with all of the, if you were to take 500 of the top level people in government between, both military, non-military, senators, congressmen, admirals, generals, so on and so forth. That is who is on the federal advisory board of Palantir. So this article talks about Palantir really, really good. So this is Alex Karp. This is what he says. I started coming to Israel around 35 years ago, and sometime shortly, you will actually get to hear about some of the things that we have done to help Israel, and I am very proud of. He remarked without disclosing any further detail. It's very, very interesting. And then he was asked about the future of Israeli high-tech industry. Karp said that in the medium term, he's pretty optimistic about the acquisition of Israeli companies and that the core positioning of Israeli entrepreneurs will likely be the same. And as I mentioned before, I believe that this is something that they have been working with in Israel. And besides for this, I believe that they're working on this with Israel, or at least testing this in Israel. Check this out. This is a post by Palantir, and this guy, his name is Adam, and he actually runs the Palantir Discord. You should definitely check him out right here, PLTRS_Palantir. And he talks about JADC2, which is the Joint All Domain Command. And if you go a little bit lower, this is essentially what it is, right? I have this beautiful picture right here. What it is, how it helps. So what it is, it's a bunch of different domains. You have air, you have land, you have sea, you have space, you have cyber, so on and so forth. How does it work? It does an entire connection, right, between here and then here, Y, and then it connects with the JADC2 vision, and they share this now. They share this now with their allies. And I believe that this system currently is being used in Israel right now or in Gaza. And that's why Israel is so absolutely successful in this war in Gaza. That's what I believe is happening right now. So I believe that Israel is testing this on the battlefield currently in Gaza. And going back to Shyam Sankar when he's talking about this Ukraine, I believe that they're currently testing Palantir's AIP for military in Ukraine. And you see this because the Ukrainian technology minister of technology was literally showcasing how they're looking for mines in hospitals and schools using Palantir AIP. I just wanted to show you one thing really, really fast. Spending by 2033, as you can see, 1.1 trillion. Currently, we were approved for 866 billion in 2024, and this only has us as 848 billion. So we're actually exceeding expectations in spending. Now, something that Dr. Alex Karp talks about all the time is we need to increase our spending specifically for artificial intelligence. Now, last year, as far as I understand, was the first and only time that spending for artificial intelligence was actually requested. And they requested $1.3 billion literally for artificial intelligence. Some of that $1.3 billion actually came to Palantir for that $250 million contract for research and development for artificial intelligence and machine learning. JADC2, one component of that is the Titan program, which we should get news of first quarter of 2024, which can possibly bring in $1.5 billion to Palantir and Palantir's allies in this, which would be Anduril. It's super, super interesting, guys. If you're not paying attention to what's happening currently with Palantir, you're not paying attention to what's currently happening in the world. If you believe United States is going to be here tomorrow, then you must believe in Palantir. Guys, Palantir for the win. I do believe that Palantir can do a double from here, give you a one bagger at least. Again, not financial advice. This is purely entertainment education, in my own opinion. But I truly do believe in the United States, the growth of the United States, and the growth of the United States allies, including NATO, that's spending a shit ton of money on defense. All the NATO countries, Poland just announced, Germany, Spain, they're spending a lot more money on defense. And a lot of that money is going to be flowing into Palantir. Palantir can definitely hit $30 potentially in 2024. And I think that everybody got a really, really big discount. And I told you that the price of Palantir was going to fall under $15. And now I want to explain to you the last segment of the show where I want to talk to you a little bit about options. Most people know about options of buying options. Most people don't know about selling options. Options essentially are broken down into calls and puts. Calls, you believe that the price of something is going to go higher, and puts, you believe that the price of something is going to go lower in general. When you're buying a call, you are saying that you are willing to buy shares at a later date at a certain strike price. However, if you are buying a put, you are saying that you are willing to sell your shares at a particular strike at a later date if the price goes down. For example, if you do a 2025 option for January and you are saying that I am willing to buy shares of Palantir for $30, you pay a premium. And if Palantir goes to $40, you can still pay $30 for those shares. That is buying a call. If you are buying a put, you are saying that the price of something is going to go down. So if you are bearish on Palantir, for example, then you could say, hey, for January 2025, I'm going to buy a put. I'm going to buy a put for $20, for example. If Palantir's price is going to be $15 that day, then you can still sell your shares for $20. Make sense? So one is a buy, one is a sell. Now, when you buy a put or a call, you are paying a premium. There is something called selling a covered call or selling a cash secured put. Selling a covered call simply means that you have 100 shares of a certain stock, let's say Palantir, and you are saying that if the price of something, and you are saying that you are willing to sell Palantir at a certain price or a strike price at a later date. For this, you are collecting a premium. Somebody is paying you for you to sell your shares of Palantir at a later date. If you are selling a cash secured put, you don't own the shares, but you have to put up cash as collateral, and you are saying that you are willing to buy 100 shares of Palantir or any other stock at a particular date and time. And for this, somebody is paying you a premium and you are collecting it. You see, when you're buying, you're paying the premium, but when you are selling, you are collecting the premium. When you are buying a call or buying a put, you don't have the obligation, but you have the choice and right to execute the contract if you are within the money or the strike price. When you are selling a call or when you are selling a cash secured put, you have the obligation to sell your shares or you have the obligation to buy those shares if you are doing a cash secured put. That is the difference. Now that I explained to you in general how buying and selling a call or a put works, let me show you an example and you can visualize what it exactly is. This is my Robinhood account. Over here, I typed in Palantir. This is going to show you the price of Palantir. Over here on the right-hand side, they're going to say buy Palantir, sell Palantir. What I want you to do is go a little bit lower and press trade Palantir options. When you click on trade Palantir options, you're going to see a couple of things right here on the screen. You're going to see a buy, you're going to see a sell, you're going to see a call, you're going to see a put, and then you're going to do an expiration date. And then over here on the bottom hand, you're going to see a share price, which is going to be the current share price. You see 1681. The current price of Palantir is 1681. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a strike price. This is very, very important. This is at what price the contract gets initiated. Then you're going to have some key details, which is break even, to break even percentage. This is important, but not so important for you right now. And then you're going to get the price. This price, this that says price, is literally the premium. This is what, if you are buying, you are paying. If you are selling, this is what you are collecting. It's just that simple. So let's go over an example. Let's say you have 100 shares of Palantir. Let's say you bought it for $16 and you want to make money every single week on Palantir, every single month. I used to do 1 week out. Since it's the middle of the week, you will do the next following Friday, which would be 9 days out, January 19th. Over here, you have a sell. Over here, you have a call. Make sure that you click the right windows over here because it will F you up. I actually have for next week $17.50 strikes. But you might be like, Adam, I don't want to sell for $17.50. I'm very scared. I don't want to get called. Now, there's a few techniques and methods which I'll go into in other videos, but let's just say, what did I used to do? I used to take the price of Palantir, which was $16.79. I used to times this by 20%, which comes out to approximately $20.15, and I find a strike for 2015. There's not going to be 2015. There's going to be a 20 and a $20.50. It's in 50-cent increments. So click on the $20 one. You're going to see two numbers here. Right here, chance of profit is 93.47. That means that the chance of you not having to sell your shares is 93.5%. For this, you would collect 8 cents per share. So if you take 8 times 100, you would collect $100 for this contract. This 8 cents fluctuates between 7 and 9 cents. So you might see, 7 over here instead of 8, whatever. If you press continue, you would say, I'm willing to sell 100 shares of Palantir. For this, you would collect 7 cents, although you can do it to 8 cents. And you just collect your $8. This is for every 100 shares of Palantir. Now, let's do this times 10 because most people have 1,000 shares of Palantir. Most people. So you would say, I am willing to sell my shares of Palantir next week for $20. If they hit $20, you have a 93.45% in your favor that it's not going to happen. For this, you collect your 8 cents per share. 10 contracts means 800 shares, 800 times 8. You get your $80. So Robinhood takes a 33-cent federal fee. So you get your 79.70. Let's just call it 80 cents. So you would collect 80 cents, I'm sorry, $80 on your 1,000 shares of Palantir every single week with a 93.4% certainty in your favor, right? So it's not guaranteed, but a 93.4% certainty that you will not get called on this. And you can collect this every single week. Now, if you do the quick math, there is 52 weeks in a year. So if you take 80 times 52, you would literally collect $4,160. Let me just rephrase that again. If you have Palantir and you're willing to sell 20% out of the money, which is really safe at a 93.4% safety ratio, you would collect 8 cents per share. If you have 1,000 shares of Palantir, this comes out to $80 a week. $80 times 52 weeks comes out to $4,160. Think about what I just said. If you control 100 shares of Palantir, you can make an additional $4,000 a year. Now you might say, Adam, you know what? I don't want to risk $20. You can go to $20.50, which now brings you up to a 94.5% probability that you will not get called on this. And you would collect your 7 cents. Now, 7 cents instead of 8 cents, you're probably collecting like 3,000 something dollars. You can go even higher, guys. You can go to $21, you can go to 21.50, so on and so forth. You can go up and up and up. Guys, at the end of the day, I just want to show you an example. I'm not talking you into doing this. I'm not telling you should do this. I'm just telling you that you should do your own due diligence and your own research. And I'm trying to show you that controlling 1,000 shares of Palantir that most people watching this channel have, all right? Some people don't, but a lot of people do and more, being at around a 94 percentile of certainty that you will not get called out, you would do this every single week and collect an additional $4,000. $4,000. Now, some people have more. Some people have more than 100 shares or 1,000 shares. Some people have 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and you can multiply those numbers left and right. This is an example of selling a covered call on your existing Palantir shares. In the future, I will be showing you techniques like rolling, buying out of your contract, and leap rolling. Guys, thank you very much. If you enjoy this, please let me know in the comments down below. I need your feedback. Also, like, share, subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much for all your support, and especially for my channel members. Thank you for rocking out with me. If anybody wants to become a channel member, it's $3 a month. Right now, I'm not really making channel member videos, but it does support my channel, and it does allow me to make more videos and content for you guys, which I will continue to make content specifically talking about options and introduce it as the last segment of my show. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day, and make sure that you watch this video right here.